Absolutely, Bongiwe. Of course, those mourners continue to trickle in here at the Siyabonga Sangweni Sports Field, and I'm going to shoot straight to the ANC's First Deputy Secretary General Nomvula Mokonyane, just to give her reflections really on the life and times of Ambassador Mthethwa. Thank you so much for your time. Who was Ambassador Mthethwa within the structures of the ANC?
Nathi was a community activist, a trade unionist. I first came across Nathi when we were all involved in the trade union movement. And he then became the national organizer of the ANC Youth League, and I was the national organizer of the ANC Women's League, also responsible for elections. A person who gave meaning to everything that we were doing and we continue to do for the people of South Africa in terms of conscientization, in terms of making sure that we don't only build an organization for members, but an organization for the people of South Africa. A person who also was very calm and yet very decisive. Somebody who helped to shape how we characterize the future of the organization, because he was a political commissar, somebody who had foresight. And I think Nathi also, as a public representative, was far ahead of his times, looking at issues of heritage, looking at issues of culture. He was very passionate about the repatriation of those fallen heroes of our liberation movement who died outside of South Africa. He also wanted to build a national identity, and unfortunately many of us South Africans didn't understand that vision of building a national identity, social cohesion, respect for our national symbols, and also someone who loved having a family. I was blessed to have been part of Nathi's coming together with Philisiwe, a very interesting moment of those two lovebirds, people who loved one another, people who tried out of all the trials and tribulations of our lives to make marriage be something that you appreciate. And he was a family person, also a God-loving person, Unyambose. He was proud about his faith. We will sadly miss the ability of Nathi demonstrating the relevance of the ANC in all aspects of our lives.
Picking up the spear from him now, going forward, as the leadership of the ANC, how do you intend keeping his legacy alive?
We have to unite the ANC. We must strengthen our renewal program, like the foundation course that we are involved in, of conscientizing new members so that they understand the ABCs of being members of the ANC. Why you join the ANC? You join to serve the people of South Africa with humility, be amongst them, and never actually stay away from those that you claim to represent. That's what we need to do. The ANC, we all acknowledge, has actually had a setback because of the social distance, which Nathi never had.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
That's Nomvula Mokonyane, ANC's First Deputy Secretary General, here reflecting on the life and times of Ambassador Mthethwa. Of course, a lot has been said about his role in terms of uniting the ANC, and of course earlier on in the week during that memorial service which was held on Friday, a number of speakers coming from different sectors of society were basically hailing him for his contribution in rebuilding the structures of the ANC, particularly at a time when there was that issue of political intolerance, particularly in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. I'm stepping out of the shot now and asking my colleague Raymond Mbele to give our viewers a sense really of who has arrived just now at the stadium. I see there's the ANC NEC member Dr. Zweli Mkhize. I see also there's quite a number of ANC leaders that I can see from where I am, even though I can't see their faces, but we are told now that the ANC Deputy President and the Deputy President of the country, Paul Mashatile, has just arrived at this particular stadium. He's making his way now inside, the stadium where the official funeral state category. Sorry, apologies about that. The official funeral that is category 2 is going to be held for Ambassador Nathi Mthethwa. I see also now the arrival of Inkosi Zuzifa Buthelezi, who took over the reins really from the late Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. He has been visiting the family. Of course, you know that there are those relationships between the Mthethwa family as well as the Buthelezi family. You see there in our visuals the arrival of Deputy President of the country being accompanied there by the Minister of International Relations, that is Ronald Lamola. I see there is definitely now an indication that more and more of those leaders are now beginning to make their way inside this stadium. Bongiwe, what can you tell us about what you can see from where you are?